Hey, what is up? Today we're going to be looking at why AD carries, especially Kog'Maw, are currently taking the support item, Relic Shield and Targon's Brace. Now this should be no surprise for anyone who actually enjoys playing anything fun, but the current meta is pretty much entirely focused around bot lane, especially crit AD carries and scaling to late game. This strategy is currently so strong because of Ardent Censor, and it's pretty much warping the entire game around who can get Ardent first and who can abuse it the best. And although you see other AD carries such as maybe Tristana do this sometimes, Kog'Maw really is the king of abusing Ardent Censor right now. Ardent really is so broken now, the extra heal, attack speed and damage, that if you have an Ardent support and the opponents don't, at high level play this is pretty much a guaranteed teamfight win. It generally often even doesn't matter which support gets it, although Janna is one of the worst offenders. You start to see even things like Morgana taking Stone Bomb Pact to ensure that she can still build this item. As you can see in this recent pro play game, you've got Cog with the Relic Shield start and Morgana with a coin, hoping to get the Ardent as soon as possible. This is just a quick comparison between the different options you have on a starting item as AD carry. Traditionally, it has always been Doran's Blade, because Doran's Blade gives you the most 1v1 power as the AD carry. But if you're not looking to win lane, the other options are Doran Shield, Cull, and more recently, Relic Shield. Doran Shield has been traditionally taken as counterpicks to something like Twitch, who has the damage over time poison, or just as a deterrent for strong poke. Cull is less rarely seen, though a more common Kog'Maw pickup, because it's got a lot weaker stats, but it gives you a strong power spike. And then we have Relic Shield, which is giving you practically no stats in terms of sustain, but it's giving you the support gold. Just to give you some numbers here, the Relic Shield sustain from last hitting only gives you about an average of 2.5 health per 5 seconds. This is comparable to the Doran Shield 8, which is, you don't take it for the sustain. So you're only starting to see Relic Shield because Ardent Censor has warped the game to a point where you've basically accepted you can never win lane with Relic Shield versus Doran's Blade, but you consider this a worthwhile trade-off to get to the Ardent Censor first. Which leads us on to where this is only just showing up, because more gold for both of you sounds great, especially in pro play where passive lanes or lane swaps are often common. As you can see in this Korean high elo game, starting Relic Shield leaves you extremely vulnerable to early game dives because you don't have much base health. If you do die or give up first blood, this is a disaster because you've based your entire game plan on the tempo of getting an early Ardent Censor. At a pro level, hard engaged supports like Rakan and Alistar are particularly valuable at the moment for being able to punish these sort of strategies like you saw in the clip before. And with C9 taking it against 1 in the picture I showed. So this brings us on to, should I be doing this in solo queue? This seems to be a known about strategy, but very underutilized, especially in low elos. You can see in all Bronze Plus games, so every game, only about 4% of cogs currently build a Relic Shield, going up to over 23% when you filter for Diamond. It is always quite a lot to ask to expect your support to not be a boosted animal, and use your early gold strategy for them not to build a Death Cap first on Sona instead of Ardent. But the win rates do clearly show, with over 58%, that this is definitely a strategy worth looking into if you can either duo with someone or figure out a generic synergy with them in champion select. So overall, going with the current meta, it's probably best if you've got good synergy with your support to go for something like Kog'Maw, Sona or Janna, but you've got to remember that things like Blitzcrank Leona will still destroy you in lane, and if you give up 1 or 2 kills, it can be incredibly hard to get back into the game until late game. Also, always remember it's a team 5v5 game, and despite bot lane being the most important lane right now, that doesn't really make you feel much better if a 20 for 0 by 5 minutes Talon comes and ruins your game. Right, great. Hopefully overall I showed off the basics of why Relic Shield is being picked up in pro play, and whether you should consider it for your solo queue games. It'd be nice to give some feedback. It's the first time I've done a style like this, so I can probably start making more if there is interest.